Hello, everyone. Well, I'm certainly hoping that you can see me and hear me well. Unfortunately, I am having some technical difficulty. We had a lot of rain. It's the raining season or the monsoon where I am, so there may be a little bit of an issue with dropped frames, and I'm sorry about that. I really tried to do the best I could to make the connection stronger. However, we are having those technical issues. I certainly do hope that you'll be able to enjoy this time together and that you will enjoy the meat of it, and that we can have an engaging, fun, and invigorating occasion together once again for our live stream this week. So, as usual, I prepared a feature presentation, and we're going to be doing the lucky draw, a random lucky draw for one of the MetaQuiz tickets that are in the draw that will get a free VIP Platinum Pass to the Ocean Summit in Dubai in November. So that's coming up. I sure hope that everyone who's not here yet will come and join us soon, and that you'll call your friends, that you'll call your people in to get together for this time together. So for this week, we also have some news updates to share. Not exactly like total surprises, because some of the cat has been let out of the bag and so on and so forth. But in case you missed out on those announcements, we're going to be recapping on those announcements this evening. So for this week's presentation, we are continuing in the vein of investment strategies. Because here in the MetFi DAO, one of the most unusual things is that everyone gets to take part in opportunities for the future. And in order to really crystallize what that means and to be able to understand and to be able to thrive in that space, we need to understand some basic sort of tenets, some principles, some standards related to investment. That's just part of the playing field that goes with the territory, as they say. And I don't know about you, but I certainly have had my stressful moments in anything related to investments. It's your hard-earned money. You worked hard for it. Maybe you've set it aside for a rainy day. Quite literally tonight, it's a rainy day. Or whatever the thing is, money has value to us. We need to use our money wisely. And investment is not for the faint of heart. It's an area which does take a little bit of nerve. It takes some confidence. It always comes with a certain amount of risk. And so the whole idea is that we need to do calculated risks. And the best way to do calculated risks is to learn from the experts, to learn from the people who really know about this space. You know, nobody has had a absolutely trouble-free experience with investing. No sort of principles, some standards that help us to be guided. They don't replace our decision making. They don't make the decision for us, but they do help us to make educated and informed decisions. So through in this shaky internet evening on my side. So this week's presentation is about diversification. And I'm trying to link the general industry standard principles to the approach that MetFi has to investment on behalf of the whole community. So there's the old sort of standards that the gurus and the greats have sort of learned through trial and error. And then there's this new space, which is blockchain, cryptocurrency, Web3, metaverse. This is a very new space. But some of those time-tested principles still apply. And that's what we want to sort of analyze together here. So here's one of those gurus that said, I view diversification not only as a survival strategy, but as an aggressive strategy, because the next windfall might come from a surprising place. So this is sort of taking another approach. Technically, we view diversification kind of as, you know, a way to mitigate your risk, to reduce your risk. However, this person, whose name is Peter Bernstein, says that he views it as an aggressive strategy, and he restates it like this: diversification of risk matters not just defensively, but because it maximizes returns as well. Because we expose ourselves to all of the opportunities that there may be out there. So when we diversify, we're not just limiting our risk, but we're also broadening our possible opportunities, our ways that we may gain from multiple areas that might surprise us, as Peter Bernstein says. Okay, so let's take a look at the sort of generally accepted categories of diversification. Now, there's not a set standard list. Different people approach the subject differently. Different people have a slightly different risk. I tried to get sort of a balanced view on some typical categories of diversification, and let's see how that may apply to us. Well, there's of course asset allocation, and that is the most typical, the most widespread form of diversification, because it's kind of looking, okay, so do you want to do some Forex? Do you want to do some assets? Do you want to do some stocks? That's sort of asset allocation. However, then there's also industry diversification, and there's geographic diversification. That's location-based. So the first one is industry-based, and this is geographically based. And then there's time-based diversification, diversifying over time, and diversifying within an asset class. So that's sort of a different approach to the asset allocation method. So not just gold, but also silver and copper and so on, or other commodities, like a general category of commodities. That would be diversifying within that asset class. And then there's also active versus passive investing. Now, I'm guessing that some of you here are probably noticing some similarities to some of the things that we are working towards together. And so that's what we want to explore together tonight. Let's go through these a little bit. So the first one I picked here is industry-based diversification. So in the standard definition, the typical definition, an industry diversification investment strategy involves investing in different industries. This helps to reduce risk by spreading your money across different sectors. Well, let's take a look at what MetFi does in terms of different industries. We've got gaming, right? Big Time and Evermoon are both gaming industry platforms that MetFi has collectively invested in. And then there's education, right? The SONA protocol is sort of an education platform, right? And then you've got communication with the IME protocol, right? Which connects to Telegram. So that's in the industry of communication. And then you've got angel investing, sort of like investing in an investor platform. You know what I mean? So that's also a different industry, right? And then you've got metaverse real estate. So this is virtual real estate, very avant-garde, very out there, very forward-thinking, because, of course, we have a very large plot of land in the sandbox, which is virtual real estate. And we've also, of course, got cryptocurrency, right? So we're going to go into more detail about that category, but you can see here this industry-based diversification that all of us together in MetFi take part in. All right, so the next one is location-based. So, of course, geographic diversification strategy involves investing in different regions. All right, so although it's a global economy, different regions face different crises in terms of their economy, different ups and downs, different issues that come up. And we've seen that because nobody knows what's going to come up. There might be a war somewhere, there may be a coup somewhere, there may be a natural disaster somewhere. So when you have location-based diversification, then you're sort of mitigating your risk by investing in multiple territories, spreading your money across different economies that are not perfectly correlated. So again, we've got that correlation element there, not correlated. So sometimes we want to be in sectors that are correlated because it's sort of the main focus, but then also it helps to diversify by choosing options that are not directly correlated. So let's look at a map and let's look at MetFi. So I don't know where some of the platforms that MetFi is invested in are located. So, the blockchain, I don't know. They don't announce where they are located or headquartered. Maybe they have that information somewhere. I didn't have that information accessible to me. However, Big Time is located in Chicago. It's headquartered in Chicago in the USA. SONA protocol is headquartered in the UK. So you can see here we've got across the Atlantic, right? And then you've got Evermoon, which is located in Thailand, headquartered in Thailand. That's where they do their game programming. Their game design is here in Bangkok. And then you've got Sandbox is of course global. It's all over the place. However, it is headquartered in Hong Kong. So when you look at this map, you're seeing this location element. And maybe we didn't really realize that actually by looking into these different projects and these different potential opportunities, we've actually, maybe even in sort of not even having planned so, have actually engaged in location-based diversification strategy. That's pretty cool. And then you've got time-based diversification. Now, we've already talked together about this before, that dollar cost averaging is a time-based diversification strategy. If you missed out that presentation and that video, you might want to go back and look at that. That was quite a fascinating thing to me to look into and study about that. Dollar cost averaging is putting a specific amount of investment over a period of time. Regular investment amounts going into the same thing, which helps to balance out the ups and downs of the market. And that is investing your money over time, right? And you can smooth out those ups and downs and reduce your risk of losing money. And I'm taking the graph that we put together for that presentation and put it here again. So in the event that, for example, the MetFi token goes up and down over time, which every single proper real cryptocurrency, including the biggest of the biggest, Bitcoin and Ethereum, have quite a lot of swing still. And even very traditional asset categories have a lot of swing still. That's just what the market is like. Well, if you use this time-based or dollar cost averaging strategy, well, it balances out over time. And you will typically tend to mitigate your risk. If it's a downward market, if it's a bear market, even if you lose money, you'll lose a lot less than if you've just made one lump sum investment. But if it's a market that has its ups and downs, which is typically the case, then over time, even when the value dropped, and even if the final value of that asset is lower than when you first started investing, you will tend to have a profit over time. No promises, no guarantees, but that's just the nature of the market. And then you've got active and passive. Now, I don't need to tell any of you guys about active and passive. I think you're very, very familiar with that concept, but it is considered one of the diversification investment strategies. And it involves capitalizing on current opportunities that present themselves, active. So sort of seeing that, okay, that's a space that's going to have potential. I want to jump in there. But also applying a buy and hold strategy for long term. We also talked about a buy and hold strategy, right? That's a real tried and proven investment strategy among many very great investors, the gurus, the sort of oracles like Warren Buffett, the ones who really have been in this space for decades and know what they're talking about. A lot of them prefer a buy and hold strategy. Not all. Some people prefer the short-term investing, and that's okay as long as you do your homework and you study and all that sort of thing. But in diversification, you may want to look at both. A little bit of active, a little bit of passive. And both of those opportunities are available in the MetFi DAO. And then we've got diversification within asset classes, right? We talked about that. So in this case, since we're working in the blockchain space, well, typically we'd be looking at cryptocurrencies, right? In the case of the MetFi treasury, well, if you go back there and you look at what assets we hold, what do we have? Well, we have established cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and BNB, right? Those are cryptos that the MetFi community voted for us to invest in during a bear market. And that really paid off because it ended up that we started going into a bull market, and that helped things to gain in value for the treasury, for everyone, on behalf of everyone. That's established crypto. And then we've got early stage cryptos, right? Early stage tokens of the projects that we've been involved in, where the investment was in their seed rounds or early stage rounds or private rounds before these projects were available in the open market. As we all know, right? Some of them have been launched now and they're in the early stages. It's a little bit of a bumpy ride, but it's still early. So that's another diversification. And then you've got the pre-launch ones. For example, Evermoon hasn't done their token generating event yet, right? They're still in the early rounds. They're in the seed round and the private round, all those sort of things. And MetFi got to take part in those investment rounds pre-launch. Those are assets that are waiting to mature. And then you've got other blockchain assets like NFTs and things that relate, like, for example, in the sandbox, right? It's not necessarily a token, right? It's actually land in the sandbox, but it is Web3. It's blockchain based, right? So that's another diversification there. And then you've got, of course, we can't talk about tokens unless we talk about the MetFi token itself, right? And that's also something that, of course, is an investment area that we're all in. So we've got this diversification happening there, and that diversification has already proven to help mitigate risks for the whole community. And that's my brief little talk, sharing, sort of, I don't even want to call it a talk. I don't want to call it a presentation. I just want to call it a little bit of information sharing based on stuff I found that I thought was really cool. And it's main sector stuff. It's common knowledge out there in the investment education community, but it actually applies more than we may have realized to our community as well. All right. I'm just checking my connection here. It seems we had a little bit of issues, but it seems to be stabilizing, I'm hoping now. Yep, it looks like it's stabilized a bit. I'm really sorry if there were any dropped frames or parts that I went missing or disappeared or whatever. I'm having some internet issues here where I am because of the monsoons. So there we go. That's the diversification investment strategy. How are we doing? Let's take a look at some of the comments here. Yes, thank you so much, OLED, for emphasizing once again about that investing does carry risks, and it's very important for us to always keep that in mind. No one makes any promises or guarantees. Everything has risk, and everyone has to do their own homework. They've got to do their own thinking about these things, studying these things, and make your own educated, informed decisions. Thank you so much for all the very encouraging comments also that you've been sharing. We've got people from India, Europe. Oh, wow. Someone in the US. That's very cool. Austria, Croatia, Poland. Thank you so much, everyone. And Arisara Beauty is from Thailand. Welcome. Thanks for joining us this evening. All right. Well, we're going to go on now with our presentation. We've completed that little theme section that I prepared for you. I'm not going to go on super long this evening. I hope we can wrap it up within about half an hour so that everyone can go about your days or evenings or whatever you're doing. So just 1 second. Now, a bit of news, some fun news. As you know, if you were following the Telegram group or the Discord, there has been another extension on the early bird ticket price for all 3 categories of tickets: silver tickets and gold tickets and VIP platinum tickets for the Ocean Summit in Dubai. That means throughout the month of August, you can still avail yourself of this amazing discount and you can get special prices for this month still. Isn't that cool news? And I also want to reiterate that for those who are gunning to get those promotions, Promotion 1 and Promotion 2, which of course are, number 1, a free Platinum VIP pass, right? That's promotion number 1. And promotion number 2 is a 1,500 USDT travel voucher, right? Which have qualifications that we're going to go over again this evening. But if you wanted to gun for those things, well, for the first one, the free VIP, you have to actually purchase the Platinum VIP in advance. And you can still do that at this early bird price. And that time period has extended to the end of August. So you still have time. And if you're going for those points, then you will have a chance to score on that leaderboard to be one of 100 people that get a free Platinum VIP pass, which would be awesome because this is going to be a lot of fun for everyone and especially an enriching opportunity, a learning opportunity. So, also, now the 7-point requirement to be on that leaderboard has also been extended. So prior to this, you had to do a certain amount in June, a certain amount in July, a certain amount in August. However, now it's all just being combined throughout that period. If you get 7 points, which is personally referring 7 fish NFTs or higher. So if you've personally referred 7 or more fish NFTs or higher, then you qualify to sort of compete on that leaderboard to be one of those 100 people that get a free Platinum VIP pass. So that's really cool news because I happen to know that there were some people who achieved this 7-point goal quite quickly already. They already kind of managed that before we even started June. So there's still some catching up to do if you're a little bit behind, but don't limit yourself. There's no time-based requirement. Now you just need to achieve that 7 points total and to be ranked in the top 100 people in the leaderboard. So that's cool news. And let's remind ourselves of the qualifications. So that 100 group, the 100 team, the team of 100 top performers, to qualify for promotion 1, which is of course the free Platinum Pass, you do need to hold an NFT number 5 dolphin or higher before the promotion ends, right? So that's at the end of August. You have this whole month. And you also need to have qualified at least as a star achiever number 1 or above by that time. That's very achievable. It's very attainable. I'm sure lots and lots of people have the chance to clamor to be one of those 100 top performers. Now, once you've qualified for promotion 1, then you can go ahead and qualify for promotion 2 as well within that 100% leaderboard. And that just involves earning at least 10,000 USDT in personal MetFi commissions on top of the promotion 1 qualification. So remember that it's not just the 7. There are these other qualification factors as well that you want to be aware of and keep in mind when you're doing this. All right, so now we're going to shift our focus over to the Ocean Summit Platinum VIP ticket draw. Yay! So hold on one second. I'm going to just bring that up. Thank you so much, OLED, for helping to fill in some details here. Again, I'm really sorry if any drop frames are happening. I hope not. So I'm seeing some really good questions. Please do keep those conversations going. Keep the conversations going in the Telegram group. You know, let's keep positive energy flowing between us and sharing good information. This is a DAO. It's not about a cult of the individual or a single person. This is about everyone working together towards a common goal and helping each other. Iron sharpening iron, as they say in the old saying that comes from the Bible. Iron sharpening iron. So as we work together, we're sharpening each other, we're helping each other to grow and develop and move forward. Okay, and so now we will move over to the draw. And for the last round, there are 35 tickets in the draw, and we are now going to draw for this. Let's give it a drum roll. So ticket number 31 is the winning ticket of 1 free VIP Platinum Pass. So if you are wondering if you're one of those people, well, please just open up a support ticket in Discord, communicate with the community managers, and they will help get that sorted for you. But definitely, if you're one of the people that were in the draw in the last meta quiz round, you definitely want to find out if you might be the lucky winner for this week. Okay, so let me look back now at the community in case there's any questions or things we want to talk about. Thank you so much for the kind words. Oh, start referring to from now on to, okay, thank you very much. Thanks so much, all of the community managers that are helping to moderate there and communicate with everyone. And I hope that this has been some interesting information for everyone, that it's helped to sort of widen your horizon, give you some food for thought, give you a little bit more confidence, a little bit more assurance that, okay, there are going to be ups and downs. You know, as they say, the only 100% safe, actually there's not really any 100% safe way to keep your money, because inflation may eat it. You know, there could be issues with banks, there can be all kinds of things that can come up. However, of course, when you want to really make your money work for you, then there is a certain amount of calculated and acceptable risk that comes with that. You know, and in a space where it's very new, in the blockchain space, in the Web3 space, in the metaverse space, of course, this is uncharted territory. This is new space. So there's a little bit of ups and downs that happen. There's this sort of jitters that happen. Well, we shouldn't be discouraged by that. We should be motivated by it. We should be excited by it, because that means that we're operating in a space that's really, really new, really pioneering, that's really going in the direction of the future. And if we can sort of back up what we're doing with good, solid, reliable information that's available online, available from experts, available from sources that are reputable, that are reliable, not sort of some individual somewhere or some influencer making some claims. It's actually based on pretty widely accepted information. Well, then we can feel a lot more confident and a lot more comfortable. And even though there may be some short-term losses, we can be confident that in the long term, as this is a long-term project, things will turn out for the best. So I wish everyone a really, really great day, evening, and congratulations to the winner of the ticket draw that we just did. And congratulations to all of you for being here, for working together, for being a team, for being such a great community. I look forward to seeing you next time. And I'm going to sign off now. Have a great night, everyone.